Okay, I am recording, you guys. Here we go. We are live. So, from a math class, from my geometry class, we are on page 603, and we're talking about vertical motion. So if you throw an object straight up in the air, and it comes straight down, it can create a graph over time. And we know that an object thrown up must come down, and sure enough, it is a parabola. That's the shape of a parabola. As time goes, the object comes up and goes back down. So it's got to be a parabola. It's this shape because it slows down at the top and it comes down. Now the vertex is the highest point. We know that. There's the vertex. Okay, so we have this equation, negative 16t squared. That's gravity. This will never change. That's gravity on Earth. V0 is the initial velocity. How hard you throw it. The harder you throw the object, the higher it goes. Plus h0, which is starting height. Okay? So, starting height, initial velocity. So we have this pumpkin. We're going to throw this pumpkin probably from some kind of like catapult or something. And it starts at a height of 68. So the 68 would go there. Initial velocity of 128 feet. So that would have to go there. Okay? So far, so good. Now, so we rewrite the equation of height is equal to negative 16t squared, gravity, plus 128t, initial velocity, plus 68, which is my starting height. Okay? Now, yeah, it sure looks like it's got to be a parabola, and it's going to have a maximum point. Okay? Now, if I plug in these numbers, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, I'll get different values. Okay? So if I plug in 0, I'll show you my calculator if I can get a calculator. Addie, I'm going to borrow this. Oh, sorry, I have to borrow that. Okay. So if I plug in 0 in my calculator, okay, so I'm going to go negative 16 times 0 squared plus 128 times 0 plus my 68. I get an answer of 68. So I got a point at 0, 68. I plug in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I'll get a graph that looks something like this. Now we thought it'd be easier just to put that on decimals, so we did. Put it on decimals. And there it is. We put it on decimals. We're able to see it. Okay, so we know that it goes up and up and up. And we ended up getting a maximum value at 4 and 24. So that's that point there. That's my vertex. 4 is my time. So I know at 4 seconds it's at its maximum height, and that height has to be at 324 feet. Okay, just use decimals. I got it right there. Okay. Now turn the page, and on the back it says, okay, use technology to find the maximum, which we did. Okay, the maximum, there it is. My maximum is at 328. Okay. We're going to learn this formula later to get it without the calculator. Okay, now, y-intercept is 0.68. I know that because of the formula, and that's where I start. Time is 0. So, you know, I got this, the y-intercept's got to be there at 68. We can see it on the calculator too. I can go straight to it right there. Is, okay, my starting amount is not there, but 68. Okay. Now, if I want 128 feet going up, I'm going to do this. Watch. So I do a second graph at 128. At 128 feet, we have 2 times, because we have a time going up at about half a second, and I got a time coming back down at 7 seconds. So my calculator says going up. Half a second later, it's still going up, but it's at a height of 128. And then coming back down, 7.5 seconds later, it's at a height of 128. Okay, now if I need 260, I just change this to 260. Whoop, 260. Again, I want to find that on decimals. So on the way up, it takes 2 seconds. And then on the way down, it takes 6 seconds, okay? 55 feet, well, I know, first of all, 55 feet is only going to happen once because 68 feet is where it starts. But if I do my 55 feet, and I look for 55 on my calculator, so I got a height of 55. I don't count that one because that's negative time. That'd be really silly. but I get about 8.1 seconds. So you really get t equals a negative 0.01 seconds, but that's dumb. So it's really on 8.1 second only, okay? Now, finally, once caterpillar hit the ground, well, I can just tap that. Also, I go to the ground, 0 feet, right? And I get about 8.5 seconds, the pumpkin hits the ground, okay? And that's all I had for today. If you have any questions, come see me. The homework was worksheet, lesson 1-3.